Rise from your grave.
The full moon rises on the first episode of Werewolf Gaming, and what better way to start out the series than to begin with one of the first werewolves in all of gaming. Let's rise from our grave and explore Altered Beast. During this time in gaming, when arcades ruled the land, Altered Beast was a pioneer of the medium. Created by Sega, the game pushed the envelope for better graphics and was one of the first to use in-game cutscenes. Compared to other titles of the time, Altered Beast was a completely different beast? These are the jokes, people. But this was back in 1988, years before Sega would introduce their iconic blue mascot, who would also become a werewolf, but that's a topic for another day. How does Altered Beast hold up today? Not bad, actually. Let's dive into the gameplay and discover a world of 16-bit arcade goodness. The game is a side-scrolling beat-em-up fighter, where you punch and kick your way through enemies that come at you from the left, right, the sky, the ground. Nowhere is safe. But your journey is made a little easier as you defeat enemies and gain power-ups that make you more and more powerful by making you more and more muscular. You man-cake you. By the third power-up, you get a quick cutscene of your transformation and bam! You get to be a werewolf. In later levels, you get to be a dragon, bear, tiger, and golden werewolf. Cause gold! Now, if there's one thing about this game that you should know before picking it up, it's this. This game will break you. It is hard, and it is unforgiving, as many arcade games were back in the day to get you to continually shove quarters into the arcade cabinet's ever-hungry metal stomach. If you want to master this game and get to the end, be prepared to die. A lot. It'll make you question why you're helping out Zeus in the first place, which brings me to the story. The story on the surface is pretty standard video game fare. Zeus resurrects you with one of the most famous phrases in arcade gaming and tasks you with saving his daughter Athena from the underworld god and rhino enthusiast Neph. Move right, save the princess, we've all done this before. All in a day's work for your friendly neighborhood gamer. However, if you know your Greek mythology, the game starts to get a smidge deeper. Allow me to regale you with one of the origin stories of the werewolf as our Western minds see them. There are lots of versions of the story, but the most common interpretation is this. Long ago in ancient Greece, there was Lycaon, king of Arcadia. He wanted to test Zeus, see if he was all-knowing. So how'd he do that? Apparently by killing and feeding a human child to the god. Well, Zeus wasn't fooled, so he cursed the king and changed him into, you guessed it, a wolf. Suddenly the power-ups make a little more sense, don't they? The werewolf form is what everyone thinks of when you say Altered Beast, and is a part of what makes this game iconic, from its visuals to the sound of voice acting, and is part of why this game lives on as an important game in the history of fighting games and the medium as a whole. Thanks for joining me for Werewolf Gaming. Next month we'll be exploring a more upbeat and rhythmic game, but until then, happy gaming, and I'll see you when the next moon rises.